I'm excited. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just going to be ranking the games I beat this year. I beat 43 games this year. Feels good. It's not particularly about number, because if it was, I would play shorter games. But it's still fun. Um, let's see. Should we go? I think I'll go in reverse order of what this list is currently, because it's like it's not even in like the order I've beaten stuff. It's just kind of in a random order. But let's start with a real bad one. The first. Okay, so I put these. Obviously, you can see S through D. S is like something I think everybody should play, like at least once in their life. It's super good, so good that literally anybody could enjoy it. D is the ones that I beat and would not recommend. They're super bad, but I usually would push through and still beat them. And man, this first game, I would not recommend it to anybody. It is Oceanhorn, the first one. It is so buggy and so glitchy. Uh, I played it on PS4. It's like supposed to be like a Zelda-like game, and it started out pretty good, but by the end, it was just terrible. And I would not recommend, even to somebody who likes Zelda games. I did. I beat a lot of games this year. Let's see. I think this was the first game I technically beat this year. No, it was Kingdom Hearts 2 was the first one I beat. I don't know why I put it in this order, but um Kingdom Hearts 2, solid A, I would say. I've beaten it before. Some of these I'm like trying not to like lower or make higher just based on if I've beaten them before, because when you find a great game that's new, you like get super excited about it. But like Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. It's the only one that I think I really would like play more than like play over and over. Solid gameplay, just good, just so good. Um, I might even put it in must play. We'll think about it. I'll think about it. I think of the Kingdom Hearts games, if you're only going to play one, play Kingdom Hearts 2. Um, Next game, S tier. Oh yeah, South Park: The Fractured But Whole. So good. The only people that shouldn't play it are children because it's still very adult themed. But holy crap, an RPG that is funny. It's like a freaking. It's one of those what are they called? Like third party commercial games. So you would think it would be just half assed. It is so well made and just it's an RPG that's not overly complicated and difficult, but it's still challenging and fun. South Park Fractured Butthole, top tier. Oh yeah. Let's see. We got two Pokemon games this year. Ugh. Pokemon is always a solid choice. I don't think these were like standout Pokemon games. Like the first time I played Pokemon, Black or White, I was like, holy shit. But like these ones, I played the two third version games. So like instead of Ruby and Sapphire, I played Emerald, and then Gold and Silver, I played Crystal. They're both good. I don't think they're like particularly better than the originals of their time, but still, I mean, it's hard to make a bad Pokemon game. They'd have to really try. Another viewer redeem game. I don't know if I mentioned, but South Park was a viewer redeem game. Um, Squirrel with a Gun. Ridiculous game. Super ridiculous. a lot of fun. Uh, Super frustrating. Like it was like it's weird because it's like a newer game, right? So maybe a couple years old. Oh, what happened there? Can't, can't go too close to the top of the screen apparently. It's not very old. It's a couple years old, but it feels like when you would play like an N64 game and it's janky and you're like it's because they're still figuring out 3D and stuff. It was kind of like that. Like it felt like I was playing like a janky N64 game, but like modernized. But had a lot of like hats and cute shit you could put on the squirrel, and just had some random funny shit in there. Um, but pretty fun overall. I'll say most of these games are on the positive half of the list. We'll see. ESO, when I was on my MMO kick during the year, it's okay. Um, yeah, it is literally the definition of like right in the middle. I think main problem with it is that all your characters end up the same. Like, and it's just not fun to play that way because they don't have like dedicated healer classes. Like, so everybody ends up being kind of this damage class. I mean, that is just like you have a spam skill, you have a buff, and then you have your ultimate pretty much, and like you just spam, 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 buff, 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 ultimate, spam, 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 and it gets boring, which sucks. But it does have a very large world. If you like the world of Elder Scrolls, it has a ton of lore and shit to do. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. It is right under S tier because I do think it's very good. It's very fun and crazy and weird and kind of janky, but there are definitely it's not like everybody should play it. There are definitely people who would not like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, but I think the people who would like it would love it. Like it's fucking so much fun. I don't know if I'll play the second one anytime soon because I've heard it's like a big departure from the first one. But man, I had so much fun playing through this game and seeing all the different options and like the characters are fucking weird. It's so good. It's so good. Ugh, so good. Deep breaths, deep breaths. So good. Balatro. Where would I put Balatro? Addicting, for sure. Give it a B. Most of them are going to be in B. You're going to see, guys. Like, I know B is right in the middle, but I would consider B like above average. Uh, Maybe I should add another tier. I don't know. But once you're not addicted to it and stuff, you're like, it's a card game. I do think if you like, it's kind of leaning towards A. If you like roguelikes and stuff, you're gonna really like Balatro. That's why it was so popular and still is very popular. But stepping back from the I'm currently addicted to Balatro and must play the shit out of it, it's not. I don't know. I don't even know how to feel about it, guys. It's hard because like I want to put it in A, but I don't want to put it in A. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I haven't played Rebirth yet. We'll put it. We'll put it in A tentatively. If I had to suggest a Final Fantasy game to start with for somebody, that's why it's going in A because it's so easy to get into. I don't think it's great. I'm hoping the next one because it feels very small. It was just weird, right? but I know the next one is supposed to be much bigger, but I haven't played it yet, so I can't judge it. But I think on its own, it's a good like introduction to Final Fantasy games. And I was very surprised because I don't like Final Fantasy VII, the original Final Fantasy VII. I think it's a little boring, and the backgrounds are great, but the actual characters are fucking ugly. Why they decided to give fucking Cloud bulgy fucking Popeye arms and shit, I don't like it. But I think this made me actually like Final Fantasy VII. Um, Dondera, mm, Dondera. Okay, this was one of the most frustrating games that I've played. I'm putting it in D, not because it's bad, but because I don't recommend people play it. Like, it's got cool artwork, it's got very fluid gameplay. The last boss took more fucking attempts for me than like everybody in Elden Ring. Like, it took me forever to beat the fucking end of this game. It was very frustrating. And actually, it's one of I don't remember why. I must not have been paying attention. I must have it was doing something. I don't even have the video of me beating this game, so it's up for contention whether anybody wants to actually count it. I'm counting it because I know I beat it, but like it when I started playing games that we'll get to later, like Spider-Man and Jedi Survivor and stuff, that were super fun and like started to restore my faith in gaming, the frustration of Dondera was killing my spirit. I was getting so over it. Another viewer redeem game, Little Inferno. Give it a C. It's okay. It's not terrible. I think I'm gonna make a new one. Can I? How do I make a new one here? There are definitely games that are bad, but with upsides. Little Inferno was not that. Little Inferno was a viewer redeem for my friend. It was it was one of those like puzzle games. I would not have been able to figure it out. They pretty much handheld me through the entire game. But it was very interesting. It has a lot of style. It's like a very Tim Burton-y kind of game, which I liked. Dark Cloud, PS2 classic of sorts. I liked parts of Dark Cloud. I like that you're building your own little town. I like the customization of your weapons and like how you can like you can literally like build up your weapon, grind it up to its top tier, and then like, break it down into a gem and socket it into another weapon to make like another weapon even stronger. So it's like really cool the way the weapon system works. It's super grindy, and there's only like 4 or 5 dungeons, which is very not fun. Like when you get to the point where you're like trying to grind up weapons and you're still going back to the first dungeon because it's the fastest to grind through to level up your weapons. It's not like it's not a fun experience. I would consider this one of my classics. Definitely a must play if you have not played it. Arkham City is the best of the Arkham games. And if you like Batman, if you like open world games, fucking, if you haven't played it yet and are like, wow, I really want to play a really good game, play Arkham City. Like, I don't even know what else to say. The combat system, I'm terrible at the combat system, but I still fucking love the game, even though I get my ass kicked by everybody. It's just so good. And then it's not like there's a lot of open world shit to do, but it's not overwhelming like some of the other games that I played this year, where it's like there's 10,000 things for you to collect if you want to get it 100%ed. Who's ready? Who's ready for Pandemonium? I played it because I thought it was made by the same people as Tomb Raider. It is not. I don't even know. Is Tomb Raider did I beat Tomb Raider this year? I thought it was this year. Pandemonium was terrible. It is like I was talking about earlier with Squirrel with a Gun, like janky early 3D game. I don't think it's possible to beat. Oh no, that's a different game I was thinking about from this year. There's a few games on here where I don't think they're like really possible to beat without like save states, and Pandemonium might be one of them. It's like one of those games where you have to learn the patterns and everything, but even then, it's really difficult to get through. I had to save state the shit out of that game to get through it. But I do think it's interesting in that it's when everybody was starting to do 3D platformers and nobody was doing 2D platformers. Pandemonium is a 2.5D platformer, so it's pretty interesting. That would be like the maybe one thing that would bump it up too bad, but with upsides, is that like if you're really into platformers, that's like the interesting part is like nobody was really making 2D platformers at this point. This was after Symphony of the Night, and everybody was like, "Fuck yeah, Super Mario 64! We're gonna be the next Super Mario." And Pandemonium was out there being just the jankiest 2.5D side scroller out there. uh, let's see. I don't know whether to put this in S or A. Twilight Princess is so good. It is maybe my favorite of the linear. Because in my mind, I'll put it in S. In my mind, I got like three categories of Zelda games, which are the top-down ones, the 3D ones that are linear, and the 3D open world ones. And I think of the linear 3D ones, Twilight Princess is probably my favorite. Um, that being said, maybe with an addendum like it's a must play if you really like Zelda. Like if I was going to recommend any Zelda as a must play, maybe I'll put it down here. It would probably be like either Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom because they're so fun and like entry level difficulty. Whereas like if you like those and wanted to try an older Legend of Zelda game, then I would recommend Twilight Princess. Undertale, uh, gosh, people are gonna kill me if I put it in C. At least a B. I don't know. It's in between B and C for me. This was Undertale for me was sort of like Breaking Bad in that everybody told me it was great and it was okay, but it wasn't like mind-bendingly great for me. Sorry, guys. Oops. But it's cute. Uh, Maori Mallard in Cold Shadow. This is a C. Um, so I think I talked about this the whole fucking time I was playing it, but this was one that I always wanted to beat as a kid. Like I wanted to get a copy of it, but it would never go on sale no matter where I went. It was always the full $60. And you can't be like, Mom, buy me this game. It's the full $60 when you would very rarely even get like a $15 game. So it was one that I like the concept of it. I like that you're Donald Duck and you can switch into a ninja version of Donald Duck. Um, but playing it as an adult, it's pretty challenging. At least if you do it right, um, you can get passwords to get through the game at the end of each level. So it's not like super difficult, um, but it is hard. Yeah, I would. Why I always try and think of like the upsides or like why would I recommend this? If you're into like Disney games, for sure, it's such a, like a random Disney game. It's not like, look, it's Mickey. Look, it's fucking, The Lion King or Aladdin. It's like, look at this game where it's Donald Duck playing a detective who can also turn into a ninja. It's a really weird concept for a game. Harley's Humongous Adventure. This was the second SNES game I played in a row uh this year. This is one that for sure I don't think there's a password system. You only get like 2 or 3 lives and then you start back at the beginning. So you if you I guess if you learned every single fucking pattern and have a great memory so that you never mess it up, you can get through Harley's Humongous Adventure. But even then there's a few parts where I don't think it feels impossible. Like this game, I think I said it already. I used save states to get through it. Like fucking geez, dude. There's like a level 2 or 3 levels in where you have to go down and like turn on a faucet. Okay, I didn't even explain the settings of this because the setting and everything is part of the upsides. It is a claymation game made by the people who did like Clay Fighter and stuff, which is pretty fucking cool. And it's set in like a miniature world where this guy, a little kid gets shrunk down, which I always think is a fun setting for like levels and stuff in games. And the whole game is you shrunk down in different parts of your house, which I think is really cool. It's got a pretty banger soundtrack, also. But there's a bathroom level where you have to run down and turn on switches to turn the faucet on underneath the bathtub. And that part already, I think I died like 2 or 3 times because you drown really fast. And it's like a maze section. And then the once you get the faucet on, you jump into a bubble and have to fly to the top of the stage. That part is RNG. The bubbles and stuff that hit you cannot fucking predict it, and it's super hard to move. So when you only have 3 lives to get through the entire game, this shit feels impossible without save states. But like I said, bad but with upsides. The I don't even know who I would recommend it to. People who like quirky fucking platformers. Fallout New Vegas, S tier, of course. For a long time, 3 was my favorite, but I think they're tied now because New Vegas is a lot of fun, and I had so much fun. That's one of the things with the Fallout games too is you can get through them in so many different ways. When I played New Vegas this time, I punched my way through it with like this super punch weapon, and I just yelled Falcon Punch the whole fucking game and punched enemies into oblivion. And when you're in slow motion, the physics go crazy. So when you punch them, the enemies literally fly off into the sky, and it was so much fucking fun. And you can do that in like 50 different builds in Fallout. It's pretty dope. Keep hitting the top of the screen. Death Stranding. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Good. Great. Okay. Um, Death Stranding is gorgeous, right? And it's got a very confusing but interesting story. It's really not for everybody. It is if you're not into the gameplay style, like the delivery back and forth gameplay style of Death Stranding, you will fucking quit. Like you will hate it and you will quit. I was into it. I really liked it. It was a fun change of pace for me. But I know a ton of people who would not have like the fucking patience for Death Stranding. It's not like it's such a specific game. You know what I mean? Like it's not for casual gamers and a lot of like hardcore fans of a specific genre like an RPG or a fucking, the Call of Duty guys. They're not going to like Death Stranding. So it's just for this random specific group of people. But I think if you like it, you're gonna really like it. It's weird. It's a weird game, man. Okay, this one is just okay, but it is such a crazy game. Like that it exists. It's a Full Metal Alchemist RPG on Game Boy, and it's fucking dope. As far as it really captures the show, and like the artwork is super good and everything. It's not. It was never released in America. They made a patch for it, like an English patch for it. But you actually um Edward actually fucking uses alchemy for his attacks. So while you're in battle and outside of battle, you can combine different material cards to like make specific weapons. It's really fucking cool. By the end of the game, not Edward, Alphonse is the strongest character because he has this hilariously broken attack. There's like hidden cats throughout the game. There's probably like 20 of them, 25. And the more of these hidden cats you find, the stronger Alphonse's cat attack gets. And by the end of the game, it is the strongest attack in the game. Which I think is really fun because it rewards you, right, for exploring and finding all these different cats. But yeah, 100% would recommend to any Full Metal Alchemist fan or anyone like who's like a hardcore RPG enthusiast who wants like an RPG that they've never played that has like a cool, interesting battle system because it is different than like any other battle system I've found. And like it makes you really spend time before, especially like the harder battles, like combining materials to get the perfect strongest attacks that you can. Metal Gear Solid 3, the OG, not the remake. I don't know. This kind of goes similar to Twilight Princess, right? Because Metal Gear Solid 3, I think, is still the best Metal Gear Solid game. But similar to Death Stranding, it's such kind of its own thing that I don't think I could recommend it to everybody. But it's fucking great. Um, Hades, I could recommend that to everybody. Hades 1 and 2 are like the kind of the top tier fucking um roguelikes out there, especially for like casual entry point. Hades 2 is pretty difficult and it gets a little confusing, I think, the way that you're supposed to progress, but I would say maybe Hades 1 as an entry point would be a little better, but Hades 2 is still awesome. Great story. Um So many different build options. Super good, guys. Would recommend. um, where do we want to go next? We'll do this. This was my last game beaten of the year. Prince of Persia, Lost Crown. Uh, the story was so it like didn't hit, you know, and like I probably won't even remember the story a year from now. But what I real remember about Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, is how good the platforming was in it, and the like. If story and emotions were 100% taken out of this game, and it was just on how good the mechanics of the game were, Prince of Persia would probably be like an A or an S. But I still would recommend it to like um, Metroidvania fans and platforming fans, because especially like the puzzly kind of platforming parts were so good. Might even be better than just the regular platforming, because like there's so many good puzzles and stuff in this game. Like, so I would recommend it to a lot of people, but I think overall the combat drags it down, and the fact that like I did not care about the characters or the story. It was not top tier in that way. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? So I think this was the first game I beat. Maybe the second on my PS5 when I finally got one this year. Astro's Playroom. Solid A. If Astro Bot didn't exist, Astro's Playroom. You know what? I'll give it an S. It deserves it. They'd probably both be S's. But the reason Astro's Playroom, aside from how great it is up in S tier, is because it comes with your PlayStation for free. And it is so good, such a good little game. And it's so cute and full of collectibles and like deep cut references for older PlayStation shit. Solid S. Let's see. Resident Evil 2, the OG. That's an A. Again, I think in terms of like series, right? What would I recommend first to somebody who's like, I want to play a Resident Evil game? It wouldn't be the Resident Evil 2 original. It would be the remake. Or it would be like Resident Evil 4. Or Resident Evil 7 if they really want to just be fucking like actually scared by shit. But as far as like the original, you know, one up the code Veronica, like Resident Evil 2 is the best of those for sure. And I enjoyed playing through it. Deep breaths, deep breaths. I'm trying to get some of the less good ones out of the way, guys, so we can just have fun talking about the good games. Another Crab's Treasure. A C. A fun little Souls-like game. Like, it's kind of short, I guess. That would be like one of the complaints I have for it. But that's also like an upside, right? When you play a game and you finish it and you're like, I wish there was more. That's another Crab's Treasure. It's a little janky. A little fucking janky. The reason I beat it this year and not when it came out is because I was playing it on Switch and I could not get through it. I literally got to a point in the game where the performance was so bad that I couldn't move around. And that memory of that, like putting 10, 12, fucking 15 hours into this game and then not being able to do that really took some of the shine off the game, but it is a really fun Souls like that if you're looking for a different kind of Souls like that's not so fucking serious because almost all of them are big scary monster, world's about to end. Uh, Another Crab's Treasure is a lot of fun. Also, probably would be the one if I had like a little kid who wanted to play a Souls like game. Another Crab's Treasure would be that. Alan Wake B. There are parts of Alan Wake that would be an A or an S. I guess so. We'll put it in good. There are parts of Alan Wake that would be in like a C or a bad, but with upsides. Let's do this. Alan himself is a terrible, annoying fucking character, okay? And that's who you're playing as the whole game. But the world of Alan Wake and like the style and the cinema, like the overarching presentation of it is so good that it cancels out the fact that Alan is just an annoying fucking son of a bitch who is so full of himself and yet so full of himself and yet hates being like he doesn't want people to recognize him and talk to him about how they love his books and he's a fucking asshole to his wife but then spends the whole game trying to save her. So like I don't get it, Alan. My name is Alan Wake and I'm a writer. But the actual story is so fun. And the combat gets a little, it can get like either frustrating or repetitive or both. But like when it's fresh, it's fucking cool. Like when there's a part, because you're all fighting like these like shadowy human enemies, and then you see the shadow fucking um bring like a giant tractor to life that you have to fight. You're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. And it's good. It's really good, man. I don't fucking Alan. Alan, wake up, Alan. Let's see. So we got Stray here. Stray was fun. This was in my like playing fucking 10 games in a row that make you cry. Um it's in between here somewhere. Is it better than I guess I could like also kind of rank these up, huh? Hmm. It's either like top of C or like bottom of B, but it's good. It's just short. That's probably the main downside of it, but and like as someone who really likes animals, like the opening cutscene where the cat pretty much like seemingly falls to his death and then wakes up and is injured and limping, it's very difficult to watch. but still pretty damn good. And like I love robots, guys. So like being a cat in a world post humans that's just full of robots was a very great setting for my personal tastes. That seems pretty solid right there. But yeah, it's just short. It was one of those games where it's like, what's the word? It was viral for a while, so I'm like, I have to play this, right? And like I said, it did make me tear up at the end. So maybe maybe it was actually pretty good. We're getting to the end here. Getting to the end. Hollow Knight, probably high C for me, guys. I know a lot of people love Hollow Knight. Again, it's like a staple of the Metroidvania thing. I personally found it pretty frustrating, but I also like very much understand why people love it because like the gameplay is super tight and like the world is pretty great. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Like I don't feel any need to go back and play Hollow Knight again, which I guess is a good point for some of these games. Like I would play most of these up here again. I don't know about these though. The only one of these I might play again is like another Crab's Treasure. I already did play another Crab's Treasure again, so now I probably wouldn't even play it. I played it in gun mode. Like the day I beat it, and it took like 20 hours or whatever, and then I played it in gun mode and I beat it in like 3 hours. Gun mode is so fucking broken. All right, let's see. I got like three or four more that I would consider not like when I'm looking at these list of games for the year. There are some of them that I like. This was my year. This is what I think about from playing games this year. Um, and some of them are not. Portal 2 is an S tier though, but it's another one I played a bunch of times. I do think everybody should play it at some point. I do think it's better than Portal 1. And it's a lot of fun. And then your two characters that actually talk to you are super cute. Again, I'm already like biased towards robots, right? So like having these fucking hilarious robots and then even the little like turret dudes. Portal 2 is great. Hell yeah, brother. It's so solid. It's like fucking top tier. I'll at the end I'll go through and like organize these bad boys in what I think is like the correct order. Um Demon Souls, low B, high C. I would say high C under Hollow Knight though. Similar to Hollow Knight, and like I see why people like it, but more on I see how this eventually turned into Dark Souls and Elden Ring. And it does have some really cool like boss designs and stuff, but compared to the later games, which you're gonna do, all right, it came out the same like console cycle as fucking Dark Souls. Like there's way less in it, which we'll eventually talk about like the sequels and stuff for the Spider-Man and Jedi Survivor games. But like there's no part of Dark Souls. like or of Demon Souls that's better or more than the ones that came after it. But the but I do think seeing kind of where it started is fun, and that's why I want to go back and play Kingsfield and see like even more farther back what led to Dark Souls. But it is interesting, and I'm glad they remade it because playing it on PS3 is really hard to do. I don't know if you guys know this, but PS3 fucking sucks to try and stream. You can't use your HDMI. Um, you can't play most PS3 games on PS4 or PS5. So having them make Demon Souls on PS5 was a great choice, I think. Um, Dave the Diver, definitely not one of my flagship games for this year. I would probably put it as a B though. It's just like a feel good game, man. Which I don't even know. Like you're just this chubby diver dude getting sushi, and just like I love robots, I love fucking the ocean and like ships and nautical shit. And Dave the Diver has some of that in there, and it's just fun. It also can get frustrating, especially when you don't like know how to get stronger. The dives can be pretty challenging, but it's good shit. That's one that I would recommend to like casual gamers, people who I don't think like the bigger, crazier games, like but would like something with some challenge. I would do Dave the Diver. It's a good like casual kind of game. All right, Final Fantasy 12, baby, it's great. Do we need more? It's so good. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. Like, but the what are they called? Gambits? The combat system where you pretty much can program all the characters to do what you need them to do in any given situation is super fun. And then I really do like the Ivalice setting is one of my favorites for Final Fantasy games, and like the artwork like they have for them, you can kind of see it here. The artwork is so good for Final Fantasy in the Ivalice stuff. Where's my fucking plus sign? Oh, I could have done this the whole time. Um and you can see more of it in like Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff, but I love the fucking artwork for these Ivalice Final Fantasy games. And then the last one that I won't I don't think of as like a core game for this year is Silent Hill 2 remake. It's so good. Like again, like I'm never sure which of these Final Fantasy games I'm gonna really like. Um, or just like play through but not really love. But I thought Final Fantasy 12 was fucking dope. Silent Hill 2 remake. I'm glad they remade it. It I was having a hard time getting through the original, and I know they didn't change that much. It's mainly just graphics and stuff, but it's like a horror staple, so that's why I really wanted to get through Silent Hill 2. And I can same with some of the other ones. Like I can see why it's a classic. I can see why people love it, and like it's some people's fucking like favorite game of all time, you know? But it just feels a little outdated to me at this point and a little slow. But maybe that's the point, right? You're supposed to think about this shit. You're supposed to think about it. All right, I would consider these guys down here. These are like my core games for the year, maybe besides Fractured Butthole and like Hades 2. These are the ones that I think about all the time. These are the ones that are on my mind. And I'm like, oh yeah, I played these games this year. The earliest one was Diablo 4. This was the last game I was playing on PS4 before I got my PS5. And I played through this game a lot. And Diablo 3, maybe. I got to get a copy of it, but I would like to. I liked Diablo 4 that much. I'm going to order these at the end, but I'll start with the one thing I didn't like about Diablo 4, which is that when you get to the end, you get your character 100% geared up with all the gear for your build. There's not a lot for someone like me to do because you're just supposed to keep pushing the pit and like trying to make little adjustments to your build and get as far as you can in the pit. But for me, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to just like play a randomized dungeon 20 times in a row, you know? But everything else, getting to that point was so good and so satisfying and like reminded me why I love video games. Like building up my mage and my necromancer. I did like 3 or 4 characters to max level. And then I did a druid, which was like my strongest character for sure. I got to the highest fit levels with him. Um, is so good. And like the way that the difficulty works too is it's like it can be challenging but not overwhelming. And you can kind of go at your own pace, sort of. Classic. Classic. And of course, the world is just fucking dark and bleak, but like gorgeous at the same time. But like Diablo 4 was so good. I've never played. I guess I played Path of Exile like 10 years ago, but don't really remember it. I don't think I played a game like Diablo 4 and just really gotten into it. And yeah, it really got me pumped to like play games again for a while. And then same thing with these guys. These were kind of split, but it was like around the same time I was playing Diablo 4, I played Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And I would put one of these in S. I don't know which, but like I said, there was a time this year where I was real fucking burned out on games, and like games were just a chore for me to play. And then I played Fallen Order and was like, and this was a game I had played. I started it. I got like one level in and quit because I was like, this is fucking whatever. And then I played it again because my friend recommended it. And I was like, holy shit, this game is awesome. So thank you, Diablo and Jedi Fallen Order. I'll probably put Survivor up here just for kicks. And this is where I kind of want to talk about sequels because Jedi Fallen Order was really good, and then Jedi Survivor just added on to that. Like, you have all the same powers, and then they add more. They add more lightsaber styles. They add more open world shit to do, and it's so much fun. And then these two guys, Spider-Man, that's a S, are the opposite. Spider Man was such a breath of fresh air again. I love these big open world games, and it had such good emotional character moments. Like both of them, Star Wars and the Jedi games, were so fucking sad and make me cry. Uh, but like they're so good. But Miles Morales was like almost like a DLC, and they took so much away from their big Spider-Man game. Like they took so many gadgets and shit out. It just felt like less. Whereas Jedi Survivor was the opposite. They added shit to it, and it like that's all you need is just add a few things, keep the core gameplay fun. But both great games. Um, oh well, I guess Control wouldn't be one of my core ones, but this was one that I completed recently. Um, Control very similar to like the Prince of Persia game, sort of, where like the core gameplay is super smooth and fun, but it Control had the thing that Prince of Persia was missing, which is where I actually cared about the story and the characters. And then it also had a little bit of that Alan Wake thing where the fucking world and like cinematography and shit was so good in Control. Whew. Some good shit right here, guys. And then I was kind of playing all these in a row. Just like Jedi Survivor and Diablo and Spider Man. And then God of War Ragnarok. You make me tear up, fucking Kratos. Get out of here. Like, we had so many good games this year, guys. Again, as we were talking about sequels, all the same stuff as the original God of War, amplified to the next level. More attacks, more weapons, more characters, everything you would want from a sequel. And then it continues the story. So you're already invested in the first game with Kratos and Atreus. Kratos is a dick. He becomes a loving father at the end of the first one. And in here, Kratos is a loving father who starts kind of turning back into a dick because he has to let his son go, but he's still a good dad and he knows it's what he has to do, and it's so good. Oh my god. Make me tear up, you fucking grizzled old man. But yeah, let's go through and like kind of order these. Astro's Playroom would go at the end just because it's so short and it's basically a demo. And see if we want to move any of these up or down. Miles Morales might even be like a high B. Kind of doing these in order of like which would I want to replay first if I was going to replay them. I put Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodlines at the end of the A tier just because it's a little janky and old. We can move Fractured Butthole down. I do think it's must play, but I don't think it is 100% for everybody. And now for this last one, I'm like, if somebody had never played any of these games, which would I recommend first? That seems about right. Honestly, a lot of these are just like this top row is like such great games. It's hard to really be like, honestly, even comparing all of these, even fucking Spider Man might be like more of an A tier. Just like fucking jeez. Like these 4 or 5 at the beginning are so good. But bottom. But I do think Spider Man's must play, but I would not recommend it over any of these guys. And there we go. I think that's pretty solid. I think it's all in pretty good order. In order of not recommended, definitely don't play Oceanhorn at all. You've got no fucking reason to. Dondera if you want it to be really hard. Pandemonium if you want a janky ass 2.5D platformer. But you've got no reason at all to play Oceanhorn. And that's the tier list. I think that was fun. This is a good year. As you can see by the fact that like only 4 of them I would consider bad games. Like, so that means I played 39 great to okay games this year. Fucking happy about it. I'll